Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cerise Fairfax. Today we have breaking news, very unfortunate breaking news. I warn you ahead of time, if you are sensitive to any type of accidents or collisions, please fast forward this or turn the video off, and I'll see you in the next video. A woman was on a motorcycle on the back of a motorcycle taxi, which is referred to as a motoconcho here in the Dominican Republic. And another driver was going down the street very quickly and they collided. Now, it's very important to note that right now, as we speak, in the Dominican Republic, the laws are changing when it comes to motorcycles, motorcycle helmets. There are a lot of drivers these days that are getting pulled over if they are not wearing a helmet. There's another thing that needs to be noted. Because motorcycle taxis are one of the main forms of transportation here in the Dominican Republic, many passengers don't have helmets. And it's not enforced as of yet for a passenger that wants to take a motorcycle taxi to have a helmet. It is the motorcycle driver that has to have the helmet. Now, that may change in the future, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But look at the footage of this sad situation, and please, I warn you ahead of time, if you are sensitive to any type of accidents or collisions, please fast forward this or turn the video off, and I'll see you in the next video. When the collision happened, you can see she was sitting on the side of the bike. That is a way that a lot of people do sit here on bikes. They sit side saddle. And the reason why they do that sometimes is because they're wearing a dress. Other times it's cultural. A lot of the times they don't sit directly on the bike. They sit on the side of the bike. Many times you will see that, and it's not always the safest way. But I do see that the women who are older, the older Dominican women that do take the motorcycle taxis, those motorcycle taxis generally move very slowly. The women that are on the back of those bikes, they're generally over the age of 60, and they're either on their way to church or they're on their way to work. And the motorcycle taxis are very respectful of their passenger. Now, that doesn't mean that it's still safe. A lot of the times you have younger people who are in the street, and quite often on this street, it's Pedro, Clisante. You will get the younger guys going up and down the street very quickly, doing papa wheelies, and at the risk sometimes of other people. The other day I was sitting in one of the restaurant bars, and I was with another vlogger, and we were discussing back and forth just life and what's happening here in the Dominican Republic, and we saw more than one young person going up and down the streets doing papa willies, to the point where one of the drivers that was riding on the moto almost lost control, and he could have hit at least 5 women that were on the street just standing there discussing things. A lot of the times these young drivers are not aware that even though they want to put on a gymnastic show with their motorcycle, a lot of the times they're not cognizant of the fact that they are putting their life at risk, but not only that, the life of other people's on the road. Now, right now, again, there is more laws going up. There are police officers on the street, and they are pulling over every single motorcycle driver with no helmet. It doesn't matter if this person is a motorcycle taxi or if they are just using their motorcycle for leisure purposes or for their own transportation source. They are getting pulled over and they're getting ticketed 1,000 pesos, which is $20. And this is what they've been doing. They've been putting their foot down now for over a year. Right now, as it stands, motorcycle taxis are just becoming regulated. Last year, they had to register their motorcycles as well. And I predict in the future, they will have to make sure that they put their passengers' lives in good hands. And I do believe that they will have to get an extra little helmet in the future to make sure that they can give that to their passenger when their passenger is getting put on the bike. I don't believe it is always the responsibility of the passenger to have a helmet that they have to carry around. I do believe that if somebody has a motorcycle and they're using it as a business in order to take care of their life, in order for them to have a livelihood, I do believe that in the future the government will lay down further laws and say, if this is your business, then you're going to have to carry an extra helmet for your passenger. Motorcycle accidents happen daily here in the Dominican Republic. People lose their lives every single day. There are people who aren't even going fast. Some people are stopped on the side of the road and another driver is not watching, and they can even smash into the person who is stopped on the side of the road. Motorcycles are one of the main forms of transportation here, like I said, and they are everywhere. They are slapping down right now on motorcycles in regards to the mufflers. They don't want people having mufflers that have been augmented, mufflers that have been doctored, that make a louder sound. The exhaust, they're slapping down hard on those types of mufflers right now, and the police, in my last video that I showed last Tuesday, are going into a lot of the shops and they're taking hammers and they're smashing those exhausts because they are aware that not only one, they're bad for the environment, but also they can sometimes be very loud in the streets. Now, those are just motorcycles in general, and most people that do doctor up their exhausts are usually the younger generation, but motor conchos are not always younger people. In fact, many of them are older men, and they've been doing it for many, many years, and they are as careful as they can be in the street. Many of them do have helmets, and they know these streets like the back of their hand. So this is not to put down motor conchos, because I know many motor conchos, and I have used several of them in my area, and also on Pedro, Clisante, and El Bate, Sosua, also in Puerto Plata. And so I can tell you that they are very responsible drivers, and they take their jobs very seriously, and they're safe for the most part. But because you're in the streets at any time, whether it's a car, a motorcycle, a person that's walking, that's being irresponsible, anything could happen at any time. So please, ladies and gentlemen, be careful out there. As you can see, the woman on this bike, she was just going about her business. She was doing whatever, and her motor concho driver was also being very safe, and they crossed the street, not expecting someone to come that quickly. Please be careful when you are here, whether you are renting an ATV, whether you own an ATV and you are an expat here or a naturalized Dominican. And also please be careful when you are on a motor concho. If you are scared to take the motor conchos, but it's really your only form of transportation, I would encourage you to order a helmet from Amazon, or you can go to Papatera on the street, Route 5, and you can go straight to the back, and they have a large selection of helmets. They have the full head ones, and they also have the half head ones, and you can go in there and you can get them, and you can get one that you can carry around with you. Many of them are lightweight, but if you are looking for something that is going to save your life, I would suggest that you definitely use a helmet. Thank you so much for joining me. Please stay tuned for Tuesday, the top stories in the news in the Dominican Republic. And also Wednesday, I will have a special video where I'm going to film all of the streets, and I will show you guys what is going on in Sosua. And if you can, please join me on my other channels. I have a true crime channel, which is called Fairfax Files. I put out a video every Friday. I would love to see you there. And I have another video about entertainment news. You can join me there. I appreciate you. It's called Sister Cerise. Guys, please be good to yourself out there. Remember, tomorrow is not promised, so make the best of today. Thank you so much for joining today's video. Again, I'm Cerise Fairfax. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, and you'll be notified as soon as I upload a new video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.